Okay, 1.4 is multiplication. And it starts out with just small numbers. If you have two numbers next to each other with a parentheses around one, like if you have the number 7, parenthesis, 9227, parenthesis. When they're touching like that, that means multiply them. And you'll always want to put the big number on top. So if you see this in the book, you don't have to write that and then rewrite it. You can write it straight out of the book by putting your bigger number on top times the smaller number. Since this is a single digit, you're going to just have one line. I want you to show when you carry those. 7 times 9, 63. Put the 3 here, carry your 6. I need to see that you're doing this up here. Okay, 7 times 2, 14 plus 6, 20. Okay, 0, carry the 2 for 20. Okay, 7 times 2, 14 plus 2, 16. Put the 6 down, carry the 1. 7 times 9, 63 plus 1, 64. Okay, since if it's a 4-digit number, you don't need to print the comma, but you need the comma here. So go over 3 numbers and then put your comma. And you circle that answer. Don't forget to put an answer column. After you do your work here, make sure that you have an answer column over here. If this was number 7, wherever number 7 is over here, put your answer over here. 64, 603. Okay? And if you put squares for the required ones, like if this was required, rectangle it in. Put a square around it. If it's a optional one, you could just put the number or circle it. That way when you're grading it, you'll know if it's optional, don't count it against yourself.
I did it opposite.
You do it the opposite way?
Yeah, I didn't circle. I didn't put squares on the ones and I circled the optional ones.
Oh, okay. As long as you know the difference between optional. Okay. If you have 2 digits times 2 digits, like number 15 in the book, it has 96 times 20. It's already written like that for you. You don't need a whole row of zeros. Some people put 0, 0, 0. You don't need to put that row. Okay? You could just start with doing your 2 times 6, but because it's your second number, make sure you put a 0 to show that that's for your first number, and then do 2 times 6. Does everybody know what I mean by that? Okay. So the 0, 2 times 6 is 12, so put 2, carry 1. 2 times 9, 18 plus 1, 19. Do you need a comma?
No.
You don't have to because it's 4 numbers. Okay, if there's a lot of zeros, like number 16, like 800 times 700. Okay, you can have 2 zeros here, and then 7 times 0 is 0, 7 times 0, 0 again. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. And then just do 7 times 8,
56.
56. Where's the comma going to be?
30.
Yeah.
30 is right.
Come over 3 or be after your first 0 here. And don't forget to put your answer in your answer column. Okay. If you're doing area of a rectangle, you have a rectangle that's 3, let's say this is in inches, and this is 2 inches. Area is always the length times the width. You're going to multiply the two numbers. So the area of this will be 3 inches times X or a dot, either one, times 2 inches. So what is it?
6 square inches.
6 square inches, or inches squared. So you could put the 2, or you could put SQ in front of inch, square inches. Areas in square units. Maybe we'll do one that has 4 numbers times 3 numbers. Like number 27. 3, 4, 8, 2 times 1, 0, 4. Okay, the first thing you'll do is 4 times all the numbers. So 4 times 2, 8. 4 times 8,
32.
32. Put the 2 and carry the 3. 4 times 4,
16.
16 plus 3,
19.
19. Put the 9, carry 1. 4 times 3,
12.
12 plus 1,
13.
13. There's nowhere to carry it, so we'll put it there. Okay, the 0 here, you do not need to put the whole row of zeros. Some people put a bunch of zeros, you don't need it, okay? If you're used to it and you want to put it, it's okay. But I'm telling you, I'm not going to require you have to put that row of zeros. Okay, when we do the 1, we need to put 2 zeros first. The 2 zeros, and then 1 times 2, 1 times 8, 1 times 4, and 1 times 3. Make sure you line them up very carefully so you won't make mistakes. Make sure you make 2s and 7s look like 2s and 7s and not very similar, or you'll have a lot of mistakes there too. And then go straight down adding them. 8 plus 0, 2 plus 0, 9 plus 2, 11, carry the 1. 8 plus 3,
12.
11 plus 1 is 12. 4, 5, 6, and then the 3. Where's the comma?
After 2.
Go back 3. 1, 2, 3, right there. And don't forget to put it on your answer column. And don't forget to turn your cell phones off. Okay. And that's all of 1.4 unless there's questions. Okay, no questions. Okay, 1.5 is division. Okay, the first problems that you do, they could be written like 56 divided by 7. They could be written out like that. What's 56 divided by 7?
8.
Okay. Write the problem out and put the answer. Don't forget to put it in your answer column also. Or it could be written like a fraction, like 24 over 24. That would be 24 divided by 24 is
1.
1, like that. Or it may be written, what about if you have a 0? 0 out of 8.
0.
0? How about 8 out of 0?
0.
No. You cannot divide by 0. Math cups are going to come. Put your hands out. We're going to throw the handcuffs on you, Francis. Don't ever divide by 0. Okay? So this one would be called, in this book they put not defined. Some of them will say undefined, no solution. Sometimes it'll look like a 0 with the line through it, like empty set. But some people do their zeros this way, so that's not always good. So put not defined because that's what this book puts. Okay, how about 48 divided by 8? Nobody knows. We already have one person in jail, so she's not going to answer anymore. 6, okay. Okay, and it may also already be written under a division sign for you. Like starting with 17, they put 1228 under the division sign and a 4 on the outside. The way you would say this is 1,228 divided by 4. Okay? You say this part first. This is also the same as 1228 over 4. Okay? If you see one like this, the way to put it in the division sign is you put the top under the division sign. Okay, now when you start dividing this, you have 4 will not go into 1, right? So skip over, how about 4 into 12?
3.
Okay, will the 3 go above the 1 or the 2?
2.
Above the 2. So you put 3 here, 3 times 4 is 12. When you subtract this, if it's 0, you don't have to bring the 0 down. Just bring this next number down. Will 4 go into 2?
No.
We do need this 0 up here. Okay? Put the 0, it will not go into it, and bring the next number down here. Now it's a number you can put 4 into. 28 divided by 4?
7.
7. 7 times 4 is exactly 28. So if there's no remainder, there's your answer right there. If it comes out with a remainder, you write R and the number. We'll do one like that also. Okay, then number 19 says 4, 5, 2, 1. 4, 5, 2, 1 divided by 6. Will 6 go into 4?
No.
No. Okay. 45?
Yes.
How many times? Let's see, 6 times 8 is 48. 8's too much. What's 6 times 7? 42, so 7. 7 times 6 is 42. Okay, now subtract 5 minus 2. Bring the 3 down. You don't need to bring the 0 down, okay? Just bring that 3 down. The next number, bring that down. 6 into 32? 5. 5 times 6 is what? 30. Subtract that. Is 2. 6 won't go into 2. Bring the 1 down. 6 will go into 21, right? How many times?
3.
6 times 3
18.
is 18. Subtract. We need to borrow, right?
Yes.
11 minus 8.
3.
3. 1 minus 1. You don't need that 0. So what do you do with the 3?
Put remainder 3.
Put the remainder 3. You don't put a decimal and keep going. Not on these. Maybe some other assignment, but so right now you just stop there and put remainder 3. If you put 0.5, I'm going to know you did it on the calculator, because this is 3/6, which is a half. If you did that on the calculator, you get 753.5. So don't put 753 remainder 5, because it's not. The point something is not your remainder. Okay, on the skills maintenance where you have to put the words in there, You'll have to look in the chapter to get your definitions. That would be the key terms that you're going to need in your portfolio for your portfolio check. So this is practicing your key terms on the skills maintenance part of this. Don't forget the key terms are on page 80. It tells you what page to find that key term. On your portfolio requirements, it says you have to put key terms in your notebook. For the people that were not here last Thursday, your key terms cannot be copied out of the book. They don't need to be typed up because people can print off for more than one person. I want you to actually write each key term, and in the chapter where it says what that key term is, write what it is. If it's in the chapter, like the word is inside the sentence, you could write it as it is in the chapter and then highlight it instead of having to write it twice. And I'm going to count how many key terms you have in there when I check your portfolio. The portfolio checks are done on the test day, so make sure you have those key terms in there by test day. Okay, that's 1.5. Are there any questions on 1.5, the division? Okay, one more section, 1.6. If you look at your syllabus, it says you're doing 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6. There's an MCR1. Right after 1.5, there's a mid-chapter review. It's telling you to go ahead and do that now. It's not part of your homework. That's bolded. It's extra credit for your test. So you can go ahead and do it now so you won't get behind and have to do it all the day before the test. But the MCR one is the mid-chapter review that's on page 35. And that covers 1.1 through 1.5. Okay, 1.6 is rounding and estimating, putting things in order. Okay, if you're going to round a number, you have to know where the number is, the place value of each number. And we did that on the 1.1 and stuff. You know where all your place values are. If you need to refer to it, have that place value chart written down during your homework. You can't use it for the test though. You need to make sure you know all the place values before the test. Okay, rounding. If you're rounding to the nearest 10. Okay, let's say you have the number 63. Which number's in the 10 place?
6.
The 6. I want you to underline the number you're rounding to. The 10's place, go ahead and underline that. Put an arrow at the number that follows it. Okay? Now, you're going to, the 10 is going to be the last number you have that's not a 0. I'll do some longer numbers later. Okay, this number you're either going to leave it or you're going to add a number to it. Add 1 to it. But this number tells you whether you add 1 to it or not. If it's a 5 or bigger, you add 1 to it. Since this is a 3, you aren't going to add 1, so this will remain as a 6. Anything that follows this will turn into zeros. So your nearest 10 is 60. Okay, if this number had been 65 rounded to 10, underline a 6, arrow at the 5. Okay, because of the 5, you're going to add 1 to the 6, which makes it a 7, and you still follow it with zeros. So 70 is your closest 10. You're rounding this one to 70, rounding this one to 60. If you had the number 97, what would you round that to?
100.
Nearest 10. Okay, you add 1 to it, that makes that 10, and that's 0. Right, the nearest 10 would be 100. Okay, let's do some longer numbers. How about 2, 3, 5, 7? If you are rounding to the nearest 10, underline the 5, arrow on the 7. The numbers in front of this remain the same. Leave this at 2 and a 3. Now, will the 5 stay, or will it have 1 added to it?
We'll add 1.
You're going to add 1. The 7 is a 5 or bigger. So add 1 to the 5 and turn that to 0. Okay, that same number, if you were going to round it to the nearest 100, underline the 100, arrow at the number after it. Any number before that stays the same. Okay, will this 3 stay a 3, or will you add?
We'll add.
Because of a 5, you're going to add 1 to the 3, and it's followed by zeros. Okay? That even goes into when you have decimals. That what you're rounding to stays this. That's the last number, okay? That's actually a number. If you do decimals later on, you're not going to follow it by zeros, though, okay? If I just confused you, just forget what I just said.
No.
And we'll go over it when we're rounding decimals. Okay, let's try that same number rounded to the 1,000. You're underlining the 1,000 place, arrow on the number after it. So the 2, will it stay the same?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And then it's followed by zeros. So everybody got rounding down? Okay. Now let's estimate. Okay, it may tell you to estimate by rounding to the nearest 10, or estimate first by rounding to the nearest 100. So let's do a problem where we're going to estimate rounding to the nearest 10. Let's do 63. We're going to do 4 numbers here. 63, 92, 36, and 54. Okay. Estimating, you're still going to be doing adding. So leave the add. Okay, by rounding to the 10, let's underline the tens place. And we'll just put 1 arrow because we know it's going to be that row. Okay, 63. You leave the 6, or you're going to add 1 to it?
Leave the 6.
Leave it. That'd be 60. The 92. 90. You're not going to add 1 to it. How about 36?
40.
40, because of 6, you add 1. 54?
50.
50. So this row is all zeros. It's easy to add. I like to add tens. 6 plus 4 is 10. 19 plus 5 is 24. You can add in any order. Do you remember what property that is when you add in any order? Have we done the properties yet? If there's 2 numbers and you add them in different orders, it's just commutative. I'm sorry. If you have like A plus B, it's the same as B plus A. If you're adding in any order, that's like if you were commuting from Albuquerque to Bernalillo, you travel as far as somebody commuting from Bernalillo to Albuquerque. That's commutative, like you're commuting. C-O-M-M, sorry. U-T-A-T-I-V-E, commutative, property of addition. That means you can add in any order. Okay. It tells you to round it to see if it's probably the correct answer. on here. If you round it and it's close to that answer, you say, yeah, that answer looks correct. If it rounds it, it's way off, then you say it's incorrect. You don't have to find the correct answer though. On 29 through 32, it just tells you to round it to show whether it's correct or not. Or do you have to find the right answer? Okay. Estimate each sum. Nope. Just state what your rounded number comes out to and whether you think it's correct or not. Okay. You're going to round to the nearest 100. On the next one, let's just do one of those. We'll do one on the next page. You're rounding to the nearest 100. Let me get another piece of paper. Okay, like we'll do one that's kind of like number 37, but not exactly. No, let's do number 37. It's in the back anyway. We'll do 216 plus 84 plus 745 plus 595. Okay, this one, the directions say to round to the nearest 100. So we're going to underline here, even though there's no number, I'm putting in the line there. Okay, 216 rounded to the nearest 100. Look at this row. 200. Looking at this, because of an 8, you're going to add 1 to nothing. Right, 100. Correct. Okay, the 4, you leave it to 7, and the 9 makes that one 600. Okay, so you do it like that. You have 2 zeros here, and 6, there's nothing, but, oh, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are easy. 7, 8, 9, 10, and 6. 16. Okay, the book has the number 1640. Does that look close? Close enough, huh? So you would say this is the number you got when you rounded it, and it looks correct. Okay? That's close enough, it's probably right. Okay, let's round on some that we're multiplying on. How about, we'll just make one up here. Let's round 53 times 75. Let's round to the nearest 10. So that would be these numbers. Okay, 53 rounds to 50. 75 rounds to 80. Remember to put what you're doing here, whether it's add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Okay. Remember, we don't need a row of zeros, but we'll put that 0. And then 8 times 0, 0. 8 times 5, 40. Okay, so 50 times 80 is 4,000. So that's how you would do it right there. Anybody else has your phone on, make sure you turn it to vibrate. Okay. And same thing with division. For rounding for division. So it gives you a problem that says like 345 divided by 47. Okay, it wants you to round to the nearest 10 first on the directions. If it tells you to the nearest 10, underline those numbers. There's your 10, there's your 10. And arrow on the one that follows it. This will round to what? Yeah, the 3 stays, that goes to 5. So that rounds to 350. Divided by the 7 makes one more here. say 350 divided by 50. Okay, so if you do that, 350 divided by 50, you did it by hand, you would do it like this. Okay, you could just go on your fingers like 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, that's 6 of them, and then 350, that's 7 times. 7 times 0, 7 times 5 is 35. Okay? Or you could have did it easier just by cover up this 0 and this 0. 5 into 35, it's 7 times. You could have done it simply in your head there too. So this one would come out to 7 after it's rounded there. It may not always be exactly like just 7. It may be like 21 or something like that, but it'll probably round to numbers that don't have remainders, okay? On all your homework. Not always in life, all your homework will though. And there's a few word problems. And after that, you're going to have some greater, less than symbols. Okay. In case you don't remember which way is greater, which way is less than, picture a number line where you have 0, 1, 2, 3. And as the numbers get bigger and bigger, they keep going to the right. So if a number is bigger than another number, you use this symbol right here. That means greater. So if it said 5 and 3, you would say 5 is greater than 3, which means that 5 is that direction on the number line from the 3. See, 5, from the 3, you go that way to get to the 5. That'll help you when you get to negative numbers later to look at it this way. Okay, so you just have to put the symbol on there. If you have a number like 15 and the number 24. 15 is which direction? It's that direction on the number line. This is the less than. 15 is less than 24. Some people look at it as an alligator, like they put the teeth on there, and they say the alligator eats the biggest one. So you can look at it that way too. See, the 5 is bigger than 3, the alligator is eating the 5. Because the alligator's hungry, he eats the bigger one. Okay? So either way, you can do it by which direction it is on the number line, or the bigger one's getting eaten. And I believe that's everything up to 1.6. That's as far as you have to go, correct? Yeah. Okay. That's everything, so you can start on your homework now.